Buenos dias, my friend. Welcome back. Welcome to the Intuition Initiation. I'm really excited to dive into this. And if you've been reading the book, you've probably already read the Intuition 101 section, and you've probably already read the Intuition Initiation section. If you have, I still wanted to read this part out loud to you so that you could hear it and feel it and experience it in a way that I heard it and felt it and experienced it when this channeled message came through in my meditation practice while I was writing this book. So I kind of want to be able to offer up and translate that experience so that you can have it in maybe a similar way that I had it. And also I just want to take a second to touch on that Intuition 101 section and remind you that the intuition is not quite as woo-woo or as spooky as people maybe have previously thought. The way I've come to understand it is that this is really just the next evolution for us as human beings in this body. It's like we've been equipped with the sort of, the technology, for lack of a better term, energetically and emotionally and mentally, intellectually and physically, biologically, to move into this next phase of increased sensitivity. Really, the intuition is really just being more sensitive to subtle energy and the subtle movement of energy as it is exchanged between ourselves and the world all around us, which is intricately interconnected. Wow. Talk about saying that 5 times fast. Intricately interconnected through this web of energy and consciousness that I call spirit, which ultimately is created by and supported by the loving awareness of God, the unconditional loving awareness of the universe. So our intuition really is just an expansion on the 5 physical senses. So in a physical, biological sense, we could be considered, sensory human beings in a very physical sense. These intuitive senses are really just an expansion on that. It's just the next evolution. It's the human being 2.0, if you were going to ask me, if we want to talk in some tech terms or like iPhone updates. We're just expanding our intuitive sensitivity, our sensitivity to subtle energy and subtle frequencies, and the information that is constantly being exchanged between ourselves and the world all around us, all the way up to source of creation. That's what this intuition is all about. And as we dive into using this expanded intuitive ability, we've talked about the philosophy and ethics of that, doing it for our spiritual growth, remaining focused on what is loving, what is true, and what is wise, and allowing the information to come through in that context so that we can expand in that way. That allows us to grow our intuition with a great deal of integrity, if you ask me. So that's the intention of setting that up in those earlier chapters. And the intention of doing this intuition initiation, and the way that I received it, it was almost a way for us to really reset, recenter, and refocus, or just focus and center and align our intention in life and our intention to use our evolution for its highest good, for the highest good of divine will, for the highest good of loving awareness, and bringing our intuitive growth in alignment with that. So that is how I received this intuition initiation download when I got it. For those of you who haven't taken the Awakening Soul Force course yet, or haven't heard much of my story, but I began channeling messages from spirit guidance and higher dimensions of consciousness when I was a teenager. I was pretty young when I found it. I would just get into meditation. I could just get quiet, and then sometimes inspiration would just flow, and I would get guidance, and I would get insights, and I would get revelations, or I could ask questions and I would get answers in response to my questions from a very heightened place of what I call loving awareness. I came to understand and know and build a relationship with my spirit guides and divine loving consciousness in this process, and that's what I've come to maintain that relationship. So this message was channeled in one of my meditations while I was writing the book. This came in wanting to be part of the book. It was an opportunity for me to really align, it was a great reminder for me. I've been working with this for years, but it was a great reminder for me, and I knew that I was meant to share it with those who would come to this book and this material. So let me just read directly out of the book because it's too much to memorize. Let me read you this direct channeled message that I got in a meditation meant to sort of initiate us on our new evolution of intuitive discovery, intuitive exploration, and this new budding of intuitive awareness for ourselves and for the highest good. So go ahead and just close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths and just kind of settle in. And I'm going to read this to you. And I want you to just really listen and soak in every word, the vibration, the frequency of what is being shared. Take these gifts, my child, and use them for love, for truth, for peacemaking, and for healing. I've bestowed upon you the ability to perceive that which is true with undeniable certainty. I've given you eyes to see the yet seen. I've given you ears to hear the yet heard. I've given you sensations to experience the yet sensed. I've given you the heart to know the yet known. I've given you the ability to perceive the scent of heaven and to taste its fruit directly. I've bestowed upon you the tools to create, craft, and choose a life for one and for all that reflects your image, your highest image of who you are, of who I am. I've lavished you with the talents to honor and reflect your highest image of the Creator. This sacred life is the ultimate gift, an unconditional act of divine love. What would your soul have you do with these tools? Alleviate suffering, heal the sick, elevate the poor, comfort the worried, supply faith to those in doubt, create art? Could you heal yourself with these gifts? Could you transform the world with your subtle touch and gentle presence? Be open, dear child of light, to the real possibility of divine revelation. Be humble, dear child of light, in the service of others, in the name of divine love. Be gentle, dear child of light, for your pure heart is the key to the kingdom of heaven. This I ask, should you choose this path of awakening, of expansion, of opening to the power of subtle energy and universal healing, I ask you to put truth and love above all else, for there is no substance without divine truth and divine love. I ask you to remember, it is God's loving awareness that gifts you the eyes to see. I ask you to remember, it is God's loving awareness that grants you the ears to hear. I ask you to remember, it is God's loving awareness that allows you to feel the depths of non-judgmental love. I ask you to remember, it is God's loving awareness that provides the clarity for divine revelation. I ask you to remember, it is God's loving awareness that heals through your hands. I ask you to remember, it is God's loving awareness that carries the aroma of truth. I ask you to remember, it is God's loving awareness that allows you to taste the nectar of heaven. For you alone do not wield these gifts, nor do you alone create these experiences, but all is made possible through a pureness of the heart and willful alignment with God the Creator. Blessed are thee, dear child. Be a light unto yourself. Be a light unto the world. You are eternal love in motion. Let this prayer be your statement of intention and your self-initiation into the healing work of being an open vessel for the God of peace, to be a shepherd of loving awareness. I am one with the God of peace. I am one with the golden light of wholeness. I am one with the golden light of healing. I am a living, breathing expression of God's pure love and freedom. In my heart, I know this to be true. In my heart, I trust the oneness of myself and my loving Creator. I am because of the I am. I am because I am. I am one with the golden light of loving awareness. I am one with the God of peace. Amen. So there you have it. The intuition initiation. I channeled this message directly from the Master Jesus when I was deep in meditation in the process of writing this book. It was a really powerful personal experience for me, and I'm just going to encourage you to let those words and those frequencies and those ideas really soak in. And I'm excited about opening up these intuitive senses for the possibility and the potential for you to kind of have your own experiences that reflect that kind of connection to such a unconditionally loving awareness. So I just want to thank you for being here, for voluntarily joining me on this journey and being open to and receptive to receiving that unconditional loving vibration, the gifts of this loving awareness, and the gifts of our intuitive abilities that can bring us closer to knowing and experiencing God consciousness and universal loving consciousness for ourselves through our own direct experience. So when you're ready, click into the next set of videos. I look forward to diving into a little bit of we'll call it the technology of our chakra system and the intuitive senses and energy, how they work and how they may help us unlock new potential and new power to help connect to higher dimensions of loving awareness. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your presence, and I'll see you in the next video.